Hello, sports world. My name is Tyron, and I'm starting a new podcast called Unfiltered Sports Talk. The purpose of this podcast is to talk about all kinds of sports. Basketball, football, baseball, hell, I might throw in some hockey. College, pro, might even throw some high school in, HBCUs, D1, D2, D3 school. This podcast will stick to just sports. I'm not going to inject no politics in it, quite frankly, because I'm not really interested. I stay well informed enough. But sports is my passion. Not trying to make no money off this. This is just a hobby of mine. I'm going to be trying to publish podcasts weekly. I might talk about the Yankees, one podcast. I might talk about the Knicks in one podcast. I might talk about Detroit Pistons in another podcast. Who knows? Who knows what I might talk about? I'm in the process of starting an Instagram page that's going to promote my podcast. I'm going to promote it. I've linked my podcast to several networks, small networks. I'm in the process of getting it linked to Apple so my viewers, subscribers can link it or listen to it in Apple or on Apple Play or Apple Podcasts. As you guys are not aware, I am a huge Patriot fan, so we're going to talk about some Patriots, but I'll be unbiased. I'll be objective about it. I am a Laker fan. I am a Yankees fan. I also am a huge fan of college sports. I tend to cheer for the Longhorns, but they're not really that good. They suck. So I tend to root for Nick Saban. I tend to root for Virginia Tech. In college, I did an internship there, and I went to a few Tech games. I tend to root for Michigan sometime if they're playing Ohio State. But I have a couple different teams. In college basketball, I'm just a fan of March Madness. So I'll talk about them too. We will not talk extensively about the Cowboys. I'm going to try to be different than other networks, other providers. Many networks tend to talk about Dallas because of ratings. And I'm not really concerned about ratings. I'll talk about them, but I believe they're really not that good to talk about, you know? All in all, I hope that we can have fun on this podcast and grow it. If it turns into something big, major, great. If not, the few subscribers that I have, DM me your opinions. I'll leave my Instagram. When I get the Instagram page and the Facebook page started for the podcast, just DM me some questions. What do you want to hear me talk about? What's your opinion? I think the next podcast, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to talk about, but obviously we got the NFL draft coming up. We got the NBA playoffs to talk about. We got the Yankees who are struggling. They're 6-10. I believe they lost last night. I need to check on that. So they could be either 7-10 or 6-11, but nonetheless, they're underachieving this year. And I'm not afraid to call them out. They stink this year. I'll try to be humorous. I'll try to be objective. And ultimately, again, just want to have fun with you guys. So, look, guys, this is the first 4 minutes in this thing. This is just an introduction. Again, we're going to talk about sports. We're going to just leave the politics out. This is kind of like old school barbershop talk, where in the barbershop, you didn't really talk about politics and whatever. minus the inappropriate girls talk. Keep this thing just about sports. So get the Instagram page started up. DM me what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. This is my first time starting the podcast, so this is going to be new to me, So thank you. I look forward to sharing my unfiltered sports talk.